So we're on this ferry boat going across this big lake in Italy. Check this out. Hey guys, those were some more beautiful views from my recent trip in Italy. Now I'm back in the office, but it is the midsummer doldrums right here. So I want to go through a trade that I think is setting up here, and we need to pay some pretty close attention to. Yes, there's not that much going on in the broader markets right now in the early to mid August period here, but there's always something worth looking for. So let's keep it very tight here, looking at the transportation stocks, particularly FedEx, ticker symbol FDX. And you can see, if we take a quick look at the IYT, which is the ETF covering the transportation sector, you can see, even though this continues to make a series of lower highs, through a purely technical lens, we have, depending on how you draw the line, essentially attempted a breakout here through sort of a multi-week lens, and we're now retesting that breakout, and maybe we're going to go higher. So the IYT, it's kind of an iffy spot, but that's why I want to look at FedEx, which to me is a bit of a cleaner chart within that space. So if you take a look at what's going on here, again, let's always keep in mind sort of the psychological lens through which we need to look at this kind of trade. And you can see FedEx basically had a very, very important higher low that it made here in the middle part of June. That's more or less when the broader stock market started to reverse back higher. We've seen the stock try to break out before, basically here in the May period, when it really tried to sort of break past resistance. It never actually did so on a sustainable daily closing basis, certainly not on a weekly closing basis, and then it broke down, right? So we had several attempted breakout, fake out moves out of this consolidation phaser that did not take hold. The reason why I think now there's a better chance or a higher probability of FedEx being able to move higher is because of this correction it's had. It's kind of managed to reset a little bit, and now it's taken place. If we kind of look at this and measure this through a sort of a very simple Fibonacci retracement, you can see after the stock rallied from January into those April highs, it retraced just about exactly 50%. So that's a pretty good retracement. It even broke below. You can see it's sort of medium-term moving averages here, the 200-day, the 50-day. They're all down here. So I think that was quite good for the stock to kind of reset. So now the stock is coiling up here. It's had a few weeks to sort of consolidate below this diagonal resistance line. So I think the odds here are better that FedEx ultimately breaks out of this phase. Now, what we don't know, of course, and this is a risk management exercise, we don't know whether FedEx is going to do another one of these kind of tricks, which is if we go back here in 2015, you can see it tried to break higher, and ultimately it did, but then it reversed back lower after it broke out about 4 to 5% to the upside. So I don't know if it's only going to rally 4 or 5%, but I think an upside target or at least 170 upon at least hopefully a daily, if not a weekly close above the 165 area, 175 to maybe even 170 to 175, excuse me, I think could be an upside target here to take in FedEx upon a potential breakout. So that's kind of a trade I'm looking at here in the midst of these summer doldrums. Now I wish you guys a good rest of the week, and have a look at this trade and see how it might work out for you.